Walk into almost any grocery store on planet Earth and try to buy milk. Go ahead, just milk, nothing else. You'll notice something strange. The milk is never near the door, it's at the back, the far end of the back. You basically need a passport just to get here back. And it's not just milk, it's eggs, bread, the stuff you buy most often, all shoved as far from the entrance as physically possible. This isn't laziness, it isn't an accident, it's one of the most carefully engineered psychological traps ever built, and you basically walked into it willingly. And you do this several times a week, holding a tiny basket and a deeply false sense of control. So here's a question. Why do grocery stores hide the milk? And what exactly happens to your brain on the long journey to go get it? Because that journey was designed, every single step of it, by people who studied you very, very closely. Let's start with the theory you've probably heard. They put milk at the back to force you to walk past everything else, so you buy more stuff. And yeah, that's part of it, but it's the boring part. And it's not even the whole truth. Here's what nobody has ever told you. There's a real debate among retail experts about why milk actually lives in the back. Because there's a second reason, it's almost embarrassingly practical. Milk is delivered constantly. It's heavy, it spoils fast, and it has to stay cold. So where do you put the giant refrigerators? Against the back wall, right next to the loading dock where the delivery truck pulls up. Putting milk at the front would mean wheeling pallets of dairy across your entire store every single day through crowds of shoppers like a sad parade. So part of it is psychology and part of it is just trucks and refrigeration. But here's where it gets interesting. Even if the milk has to be in the back for boring reasons, stores realized they could weaponize the walk to get there. The trip became the product. Which brings us back to the front door. Because before you even reach the milk, something has already happened to you and you didn't even notice it at all. The first few steps inside any store are called the decompression zone, and retailers discovered something bizarre. When you first walk in, you basically can't see anything. Your brain is still adjusting from the parking lot, the sunlight, your phone, your day. For about the first 15 feet, you're not really shopping. You're just a gentle zombie, shuffling forward, blinking, dragging your feet. So stores learned to put almost nothing important there. No premium products, no big sales, because anything in that zone gets ignored. People have literally walked past stacks of discounted items and not registered them at all. That's why the entrance often feels weirdly empty or filled with shopping carts and a lonely rack of seasonal junk. They're not wasting that space. They're letting you wake up. And the moment you do wake up, they hit you with flowers. Notice how produce and flowers are almost always first. Bright colors, that fresh, green, slightly damp smell. It feels healthy, it feels natural. It feels like a farmer's market run by your neighbor. It is none of those things. It's a mood-setting machine. Those colors and that smell whisper to your brain that this place is fresh and wholesome, and a relaxed, happy brain will just spend more money.
Oh my God.
At this point, you've been buttered up before you've bought a single thing. Then comes the bakery. And the bakery has a secret weapon: smell. The scent of fresh bread is one of the most powerful triggers in the entire building. It makes you hungry, and a hungry shopper is a dangerous shopper to their own wallet. Some stores deliberately time their baking or pump artificial bakery smell through the vents, specifically to get your stomach growling early. I'm looking at you. I won't say the store though. So now you're relaxed, you feel healthy, and you're slightly hungry. Congratulations, you are now the perfect customer, and you still haven't found the milk. Now let's talk about how you're actually moving, because you're probably drifting in a slow, counterclockwise loop around a store, turning right when you walked in, like most people do. Stores have quietly designed their layouts around this drift, carving a path that floats you past the maximum number of shelves, like a river dug to flow past every gift shop. And on those shelves, another trap, the famous one. Eye level is buy level. The products companies most want you to buy, the pricey ones, the ones with the fattest profit margins, sit right at your eye line. The cheaper stuff lurks up top or down by your ankles. So when a brand pays a premium for that perfect middle shelf, guess who actually pays for it? You! You've just never seen the bill. Even the cereal is in on it. According to one widely cited study, The cartoon mascots on kids' cereal boxes have eyes angled slightly downward, not at you, but at a small child sitting in the shopping cart. Somewhere right now, a cartoon tiger or bunny or whatever is making direct eye contact with a 4-year-old, and that 4-year-old is about to start negotiating with their parents. But the store isn't just steering where you look, it's controlling how fast you move. And the weapon there is music. Play fast, upbeat music and shoppers speed up. Play slow, quiet music and they slow down. They linger, they browse, they buy more. Researchers actually tested this in supermarkets and found that slower tempo music meant people spend more time in the store, and more time in the store means more money out the door. That bland, sleepy soundtrack isn't just background noise, it's a brake pedal for your feet. And while you're drifting along, slowed down and mildly hungry, you'll spot the unbeatable deal, the thing that's somehow shockingly cheap. Maybe it's even the milk itself, the thing that you were actually looking for. That's called a loss leader. Stores will happily sell certain items at little to no profit, sometimes at a loss, purely to get you through the door and walking down the aisles. They lose a few cents on the milk to win you over on everything else you grab on the way to it. The bargain isn't a gift, it's bait. Which brings us to the idea that explains the entire building. So back in the 1950s, there was an architect named Victor Gruen who designed the first fully enclosed shopping mall. And in doing so, he accidentally discovered a phenomenon that now carries his name, the Gruen Transfer. Now, the Gruen Transfer is the exact moment a shopper walks in with a clear plan. I just need milk. And the environment is so cleverly built that they forget the plan entirely. They slow down, their eyes glaze over, they start to wander. Purpose has now dissolved into vibes. I mean, you felt it. You went in for one thing, such as toilet paper or water, and somehow walked out with $100 worth of product. You may be carrying a candle, some guacamole, and a throw pillow that you absolutely do not need. That's called the Gruen Transfer. That's the whole game. And the milk at the back is just a lure that keeps you in the maze long enough for it to happen. Now here's the twist. The genuinely delicious irony. Victor Gruen, the man who invented this entire approach, ended up hating it. He was an idealist. He imagined that his malls were community spaces, almost like modern town squares. Places where people would gather, relax, maybe see a doctor, catch a concert, actually live a little. He thought he was building the future of human connection. Instead, he watched his invention get stripped of all of that and turned into a pure machine for extracting money. Late in his life, he gave a speech and essentially disowned the whole thing. He said he refused to pay alimony for those bastard developments. The father of the modern shopping experience looked at what he created and walked away from it. So the next time you're standing at the very back of a grocery store, holding a gallon of milk, quietly wondering how you also ended up with chips, a magazine, and a bag of limes, remember this. You didn't get lost. You were never meant to find that milk quickly. The milk was never the destination. You were. If you made it this far, I thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever walked in just trying to look for one thing and ended up with way more? Please leave your experience down in the comments, and have a great day.